Welcome back in the booth with us, with me. I have
Felix.
all the names are wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
And this is not Niklas. I'm not Niklas Ramqvist. I have not shaved myself and become well. So this is Felix and Victor in the booth, heading down to the next feature match between Simon Rangnar and Martin Stark. We'll take a quick look at these deck lists. I think Simon Rangnar has a fairly solid white base deck. Looks fairly aggressive, and again we see with the Jeskai aggro build.
this looks like a white, blue, black deck with some heavy removal and using good cards, and also some Delta cards as well.
Yeah.
And he seems like to be splashing red as well. Not green. Green is the only card he's not taking, and he plays Goblin Slide.
Interesting. So Goblin Slide, not a particularly strong card, but it can be viable if you have enough ways to trigger it. I personally would advise against trying to play it in sealed, where you have such you can't really control your deck choice that much. But absolutely, it can be a strong card in the right deck.
Well, it's good at milking out the value of every card you play. It's a little like Extort was back in the day.
Except Extort didn't actually use up a card.
That is true.
Yeah. So here I think that was a no-lander for Martin, so we're going to see an instant mulligan from him. So here we see blind with the Extort mechanic from Gate Crash. But that mechanic did not actually... it did not require you to invest a card in it, because most of the cards had other abilities as well. The Goblin Slide does not, even though
it was often an extra effect, or it was like a creature that had it.
Yeah.
Goblin Slide only does that. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to see a Goblin Slide deck doing so well in this tournament.
Well, maybe he has never resolved it.
that could be the case. Well, that could be the case. So what kind of ways does he have to trigger it?
Let's see. He has 2 Sandblasts.
That's definitely a good one.
Cloud Form, Whisk Away.
Yeah.
He has a lot of actually. He has some prowess creatures as well. He has Dows. He has.
We also see the Mistfire Adept. Again, with the recent differences of Fate Reforged, where there are so many creatures that are actually non-creature spells, such as Cloud Form or Right into Being or the like. So you can actually fill out your curve with the cards that actually trigger prowess, as well as Goblin Slide.
Cloud Form being probably the best of the cycle.
Absolutely. I think Cloud Form and Light Form are comparable in power level. It's hard to say which one is the better one. Yeah. I believe blue to be a slightly better color than white in the format, just because white is so incredibly overdrafted due to the presence of Sandstab Outcast. So we're underway here. We see Island and Swiftwater Cliffs respectively for the two players. Simon Ragnar with double Island.
And he drew the Goblin Slide.
Oh.
So we might see it in action now.
Yeah, so awkwardly enough, missing out on his mana here. So Martin Stark just going up to 22 with Tapland into Tapland, and I think he has a sleeve full of removal in his hand. I can't quite see.
I think he might have an island, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. So here we see one of the cards we were talking about previously, Right into Being, effectively making a morph. So he has a mountain and a refocus, I believe. I believe he has the mountain in hand. He has all the lands he seems to be needing. 2 extra lands on hand. So I would not be surprised to see us manifest one of those cards. Doesn't really matter which one.
Manifest the creature. I mean the land.
Oh, yeah. And
I didn't see what it was, but
I think it was a refocus. And interestingly, he keeps that card on top. I may be mistaken, but refocus is not the kind of card you would.
We see on the slide.
All right, so here we go. So a card he actually has to read, make sure what it does.
To read it.
Yeah. So what does that do again? So he draws what I believe to be a refocus. No, so not really a card that's spectacular.
It depends. He maybe have something that is relevant.
Yeah, it does fuel. I mean, it triggers prowess and
Inspire is not a thing in this format.
No, unfortunately not. Let's see. He might be there. There's some argument to be made for playing the Lotus Eye Mystics. So this is also not a card I would be expecting to see prioritized in sealed. A 3/2 prowess for 4 mana, which is not really a great deal. There's plenty of 3/2s for 3 mana that you aren't really playing in this format.
Well, maybe I think he has a siege in his deck, so
Yeah,
he has a
but
palace siege.
I don't think that's a reason to be that's a reason to play the card. I think if you're gonna play the card with and try to use this enchantment recursion, you want enchantments that aren't actually enchantments. For instance,
injury.
Yes, debilitating injury goes to the graveyard more often than most. Light form and cloud form are also spectacular examples.
He does have cloud form. I mean, he might have some injuries. I will look.
Yeah.
He has an injury as well, and
Ragnar at this time, not Martin Stark.
Oh, this is. Oh.
Yeah.
Is it Rang? Yeah,
Yes.
Rangnar has it.
Yeah.
So he does he have many enchantments?
We'll take a look. So I don't really see
I
any.
don't see them as well.
He does have a monastery mentor though, and which does goes to show why he. So whisk away on the manifest, which is probably a mountain, yeah. So double dead draw here for Simon Ragnar. But since Simon Ragnar does have a monastery mentor in his deck, that can absolutely be a reason to be playing white and also to be trying to get all the prowess triggers you can get.
Yeah.
So is that, I can't quite tell what that card is. Is it an End Hostilities?
In his hand?
Yeah. Let's see if he has one in his deck.
Yeah.
He does not, so that's not it.
No, I don't think so either. I think it might be.
I can't quite tell what it was.
I think it's the Monastery Mentor. It's
Yeah,
the Monastery Mentor.
It's the Monster Mentor. All right, so he still has the refocus, which will
be really good here.
yeah, absolutely make a prowess guy, which is I mean basically a card. People are playing. We've been seeing people playing Jeskai Sage all day now. So obviously that actually also draws you a card. But when you get them for free of playing spells, that's just spectacular.
Well, you get a 1/1 with prowess
Yeah.
on the top on the Monastery Mentor, which is really really good.
Yeah. Also here we see Merciless Executioner. So most likely we're going to trade a token for a token right now.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I would see, most likely.
You gotta respond here. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, you're sacrificing the Lotus Eye.
Yeah, that seems like bad value.
Yeah, absolutely. especially in exchange for a goblin. So we're untapping, getting the double prowess trigger, which if Stark if Stark had any attacks, they would be over now. So token trades for token, and then we say Typhoid Rats joining the board. So I think Simon Ragnar is firmly in control of this game right now. Each spell he plays will just start dominating the board. So, we see an Enoch Bondkin, a Force Away, and then I believe a Mind Scour Dragon, one of the uncommon dragon cycles, which we've been discussing earlier.
Do you like the dragon?
Not generally, but they are a way to shore up the making sure you have early drops.
Yeah.
Or rather late game.
Yeah. It mills when it dies. Right?
Yeah, no, it mills when it hits the opponent.
Oh.
Which is actually not that very great. Usually, because you can target the players you're milling, most likely you want to mill yourself, because you don't want to field their delve spells, you want to field your delve spells. And in nearly every game you ever play, people will be dead from damage far before they actually get decked from the milling of 4.
Yeah, I think most people play just to fuel their delve spells.
Yeah. Well, it is a dragon. The text is basically vanilla. So I don't know if that's I thought it was a Force Away, but it's actually a clever impersonator.
What?
So yeah, so it's a
it's a clever impersonator.
It's a 4-mana clone. He could, if he want to, clone the Goblin Slide, but more likely I think we're gonna see a Monastery Mentor hit the board, a second copy that is.
Yeah, that seems better. I mean, he doesn't have to pay, and the tokens are better.
Yeah.
I mean, they have prowess also.
Yeah. So
does he have another spell? I mean,
I don't. Also, here we see the Mascot Dragon using his mana more efficiently. If he doesn't have another spell, I think I like that play more.
Yeah, I would if I had another spell, I'd probably take the impersonator.
Yeah, it also gets through for damage here, and it sort of demands an answer. So
I think there's a Palace, the Black Siege.
Yeah, that is a Palace Siege. So interestingly, if Martin Stark has a way to get his Merciless Executioner into the graveyard, he could recur it for the rest of the game for 3 mana.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's very strong. It was a combination we saw Paul Cheon do in the recent, I believe, in Grand Prix San Jose.
Yeah, when the team GP.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
So if he manages to get to kill that merciless executioner, he
Is it the beginning of your upkeep? Or?
beginning of your upkeep,
Okay.
precisely. So again, not really a game-winning combination against him, Simon. With the
yeah, considering he might have two mentors in game.
yeah, he can absolutely be outplaying it using tokens. But right now, he doesn't have any ways to trigger that mentor.
But he
Yes.
has a raid, a 2/3 raid
Yeah,
creature.
that's true.
So
I'm not sure if that's a second white mana or if he. No, that's.
I think it's one.
Yeah, I think it's just one white mana. So he
He's
can't
milling his opponent, and we see a crane style. I think it's called
flying crane technique.
flying crane technique. Yeah,
I can't quite tell.
yeah.
We
They
do.
were like standing like this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
That's the only card.
Absolutely, standing like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's the completely the pose we were making in the coverage booth
Yeah.
right now. So we also see a Reach of Shadows, and
What did he copy? Did he copy the dragon or did he copy the mentor?
I can't quite tell. We'll see if we can get that
I
information.
think he
for
might have pointed at the dragon.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah.
he does. I mean, it's Monster Mentor is a flashy card, but it's still a 2/2.
Yeah,
It-
he doesn't have any spells currently in his hand. If he had maybe like a good spell in his hand,
Yeah.
I would consider it. But currently, he has no way of answering flyers.
Exactly. So he's just trying to make sure
That
the,
is
the
a
game
cloud-
goes as
I think
quick.
it's a cloud form. Is it called that?
Yeah,
The-
that may be a cloud. It may also be a Rite of Undoing. I can't quite tell.
Yeah.
Let's see if he has one in
Yeah, I
his
think
list.
he has a cloud. He has. Let's see. Right. It's Fatal Forge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't have right into being. It's,
Oh,
it's
right.
a cloud form then.
Yeah, so it's probably a cloud form.
But we might be right. No, it's not right of Undoing either.
No.
The
All
cloud
right.
form.
So here we go. We attacking with both of these creatures, attempting to trade the Merciless Executioner off, most likely.
Yeah.
And so we see a Palace Siege. I think that's a
Do you-
Saltai
do you
Scavenger as
see-
well.
Yeah, he missed the play. Well, it's kind of a weird interaction.
Yeah, but he hasn't seen the Palace Siege
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
If he
Yeah, I would block every day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we see a Palace Siege, and now Martin Stark, if given enough time, this combination will win him the game.
So it's just a cat. I think counts
Yeah,
as the
yeah, absolutely. Interestingly enough, the double Mind Sky Dragon, while a 2-turn clock, will also give Martin Stark a very large selection of cards
Yeah.
from his deck to choose from.
That can be scary.
Yeah. But really, the things you need are removal spells right now, and you can only recur creatures. And out of those creatures, the only one that's actually a removal spell is the Merciless Executioner, and that's not great on this board right now. So
So if he mills 8, it's the dragon, I think. Yeah, it's the dragon. Yeah,
yeah,
he copied
yeah,
the dragon.
definitely.
Yeah.
So we see Despise,
Oh,
is a Sandblast, Gurmag Angler.
Do you think you take the 2? No, I think you take the executioner still here.
Yeah.
And I think you kill the sage. No, of course you
So
you kill the
Saltai
executioner.
Scavenger, you can play for 1 mana, and then Merciless Executioner.
Did he forget the trigger?
Yeah.
he did.
He definitely did. But I don't think it would
no.
matter. No.
He has 1.
Yeah. All 4 lethal, and any spell from Simon at that point would make another lethal attacker. So here we go back to the booth. I'm Felix. This is Victor. Here at Scandinavian Open. It's the 5th
It's
round.
the 5th round.
Yeah.
Yeah, of 7.
Yeah.
I believe at least.
No, that
Well, some people. No, this is 6th.
It must be the 6th round.
Yeah, because some people are at 15 points.
Precisely. So looking at the sideboard options here, I think again the Jeskai aggro deck has slightly worse options because again when you're trying to play aggro, you're already kind of constrained in your deck building choices in the main deck. So I can't really see any large differences that he's going to be making here. How does it look for Martin Stark?
Well, he has a Will of Naga, which is alright in this. He also have
Yeah.
a Return to the Earth, which can be alright if he wants to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very good. I just want to point out that he doesn't play Sandstep Outcast in his
Oh,
deck.
okay,
He
yeah.
had it in his pool.
Yeah. Yeah, but it makes sense if he's just splashing white for the removal of Sandblast.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you don't really. I mean, even though Sandstep Outcast is a very very high quality 3-drop, you don't
yeah,
actually.
he
need it.
only plays. He only plays the Sandblast. That's the only
Yeah.
white card he plays. So,
Precisely.
yeah, that's true.
So I think I agree with that decision. Again, Sandstep Outcast, a really quality common, probably the best common in Fatal Forge.
He has a Death Friend
But-
as well.
Death Right, you said?
Death Frenzy.
Oh,
I don't know if it is the color. They play green, right?
yes.
I think it.
No, it didn't.
No.
No, it didn't play green. But yes, Death Frenzy would be a very strong card against the Monster Mentor and the rest of the team.
Yeah, that would be really good against Monster Mentor.
Yeah.
Well, I think we might see Will the Naga, maybe.
Perhaps.
Because he might, if he thinks that the dragons will appear again.
Yeah, but again, the situation where you have 2 dragons, or rather, at least just one hitting you, that's not really the situation you want to fog in. So I'd rather just bank on having my removal spell. We did see a Reach of Shadows and 2 Sandblasts, so he does have the answers for the...
Yeah, double Sandblast seems amazing.
Yeah, and with the combination of Merciless Executioner and the Black Siege, he has a very powerful interaction to go for the late game.
It's a Sorin emblem.
Yeah, basically, for 3 mana every turn,
Yeah,
but
sure.
even still.
It's a combo, you could
Yeah.
say. Too bad manlands aren't a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, manlands were never... manlands in Zendikar or Worldwake were so much more spectacular than Mutavault ever turned out to be in...
Mule was only played because you had a Raffle God for 4 mana was uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I'm playing 40 cards here, please.
True. You don't know if
What's this strange constructed format you speak of?
Well, I think I played Sliver deck actually.
Okay.
I got a good seal pool on pre-release with Slivers.
All right, so back on track here. We have Simon 1-0 against Martin Stark. So we're gonna see the Jeskai aggro deck on the draw most likely. Now I think that Martin Stark has the this is actually
I think I saw the Siege in his opening hand. He has also
the Flying Crane Tasigur and the Flying Crane Technique. Does he have lands though?
He had 1 land, 2 lands. He has an island and swamp. I think you do keep this.
No, I don't think so. That depends on what the other cards are. Flying Crane Technique is so far away from being cast as well.
Is it a good card?
It's okay. I don't think it's very. In Martin's deck, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the entire build, but generally, it's a card that gains value the worse your deck is. Much like, but in all honesty, cards like Flying Crane Technique or Dragon Throne or Tarkir, obviously, Flying Crane Technique is a much less risky card than the Dragon Throne. But both of these cards just kind of want you to play creatures. And so decks they're better
they can make the bad creatures at least okay.
Exactly, you can get a combo finish to finish off an opponent who has a superior board state than compared to you when you are only kind of playing janky creatures.
It's flying double strike, isn't it?
Yeah, flying untap and double strike, so you can use it on
combat.
Yeah, for blocks. Play that's been far more prevalent with War Flare than Flying Crane Technique.
So it's like a good roll the ancestors.
Yeah, I don't think we should even put those 2 in the same camp.
I thought they had haste. Okay, I was like, wow, this card could be good. Now I'm like, wait, they don't have haste.
No, that's one of the few unplayable rares in this format.
Yeah, there was a reason I didn't pick Abson in the release.
Right, so here we see multi-6. We see a Sunstep Outcast, I believe, Island.
I see lands.
Yeah, I see lands as well.
I think I see also this Sky Captain. Does he play one of those?
That could be the case. Yes, he does play one of Absent Sky Captain.
That is Sky Captain. Because they have, the background is like...
Yeah, I think that might actually be good here. I'm fairly intrigued by Martin's build. He's playing both very grindy and defensive cards like Goblin Slide, the Black Siege, Merciless Executioner, but then he's also playing cards like Flank Crane Technique and Active Treason.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to see how this deck works out for him.
Yeah.
So Jeskai Siege versus Typhoid Rats. We've said how Typhoid Rats matches up well against mostly everything in the format during the previous rounds, but not Jeskai Siege.
I mean, they get to draw a card.
Yeah. 2 for 1 yourself, no thank you. So, does he have a 3rd land drop? I can't quite tell. It seems
he might do.
It's a tap land. So I think he has multiple 3-drops in hand. There's an Einak Bondkin, Sunstep Outcast, and...
I think there might be a right onto beating in the thing's hand.
Yeah.
Or a Lotus, whatever it's called.
Interestingly enough, even though the Einak Bondkin would give the Sand-type Outcast flying, or rather first strike, if you gave it a +1/+1 counter. I still believe that it's correct to play the... alright, so Sultai Skullkeeper milling a fairly decent spell, and as well as a land here.
Do you like the Clem Impersonator?
I haven't actually played it very much, but clones tend to be good in limited, and I think it's probably... double blue is kind of awkward, but again, the things you're copying are also much stronger in a multicolored format, so... then again, ever since they changed the legendary rules, there's been a slight bump to clone type effects, since you can no longer kill your opponent's legendary bombs with it.
Oh, true. Well, you could use them as a removal before.
Yeah, before, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
no
longer available as of the M14 rule changes, I believe.
Yeah.
Right, so here we see an Enoch Bonkin. Interestingly, he opted to play the Skullkeeper last turn rather than the Bonkin. Otherwise, this turn he could play the Skullkeeper as well as outlast the Bonkin. So Dousing Gloom on the 2/1 here. He does not want to trade it for his 1/1 Typhoid Rats. So does he have another?
He has the give a counter, right?
Yeah.
That thing gives a counter, right? So
No, Dousing Gloom.
Yeah.
No, it's two damage.
It's Gloom. I thought it was the other...
Ancestral Vengeance. Yeah, that's an enchantment, so it's sorcery speed. But I think I see an Absan advantage in Simon's hand.
Yeah, he has it in his deck.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's see. No, so he has one in his pool. Here we see Absan advantage. So quite a controversial card. It's one of the cards that I believe was brought in earlier in one of the rounds against the White Citadel Siege.
Yeah, I can't remember who played. I think it was Louvre against...
Yes, precisely.
Someone else.
So we see here the Absan advantage. Target player sacrifice an enchantment, bolster 1. Most of these kind of naturalized effects. Here we see precisely the player I was going to comment on. We see him using the Absan advantage to get a +1/+ counter on his Bondkin, give it first strike that way, and make sure it wins combat and actually just eats the
but
Typhoid Rats.
he also gave...
triggered prowess on the... So here we see Absan advantage, a sideboard card definitely brought in against the Palace Siege, but it gave...
Tasigur, that's not very good.
No, Tasigur is a strong card indeed. But really one Outlast and all of a sudden it can't... it's going to have a... Oh, alright, so here we see Absan Sky Captain hitting the board. Oh, never mind, that would be 2 Outlasts, it's a 3 currently. Yeah.
It's a 4/5.
Yes.
It's Tasigur.
Yeah. So Absent Sky Captain 2/2. When it dies, you get a bolster 2, which is...
So I like it. It's a pretty good card, I think.
Yeah, it's relevant. Unfortunately, now that would mean you put the counters on the Jeskai Sage, which isn't great. But importantly, as long as that Einok Bondkin is alive, spreading counters around gives your team first strike.
Yeah. Which is not a bad thing.
No. So we see Act of Treason, we see, I believe it was a Whisk Away, as well as a the previously aforementioned Flying Crane technique in Martin's hand.
He's considering Whisk Away here?
That's actually quite a good tempo play, depending on what his read on is on Simon's hand. Because it will make sure that not only does Simon not draw a card from the Jeskai Sage, which he's proven quite interested in doing, but it also denies him a draw set. But that is not the play.
I'd
Martin,
rather hold it up and maybe use Tassigur's ability if he doesn't attack.
Yeah. So Frostwalker off the top.
4/1.
Yes, 4/1 Phantasmal Beer.
Yeah.
So usually that kind of card has traditionally not been very good in limited.
Yeah,
but I think it's perfectly serviceable in this format. Frostwalker a 4/1, and when it becomes the target of any spell ability, you sacrifice it. But
there's not too many abilities in this, and
no,
spells are your removal is pretty good in here. So you should usually want to kill us.
Yeah, usually most removal costs 4 or 5 mana. We've seen Sandblast and the like, and so Frostwalker tends to trade up, and also we haven't really seen it here because the Jeskai decks have been so predominant in this in the feature match area. but it's also a very reliable way of triggering Ferocious very early in the game. So here we see
He chooses not to play in Frostwalker.
Yeah, but I think I like that play. Frostwalker doesn't actually do anything on this board right now, and awkwardly you would have to if you didn't make this play, if the Absent Sky Captain died, you would have to bolster on top of the Frostwalker, which
it
all
dies,
of us
right?
No, it does not die because it doesn't target, but it suddenly is a much more appealing target for your opponent's removal spells.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
And Tasigur hits 2 lands.
Yeah.
So a terrible whiff.
Well, precisely because he exiled the rest of his graveyard, so he doesn't. And more importantly, those lands are actually what Martin wants right now.
Yeah.
So here we see
what does he have in hand?
A Flying Crane technique, no longer active trees, and I believe it's a Whisk Away.
I think maybe a Siege.
I couldn't quite tell. But here we see an active treason against an opponent that's on 21 life. Not usually where you want to be in Limited. So, and then just passes the turn back. So
this looks Simon seems in a pretty commanding position if
but
all lands are drawn.
But
I see. Let's see. Is that a misfire adept?
That could be the case. I think it's probably the dragon.
No, I mean in Martin's hand.
Oh.
It might either be the Misfire Adept or Naga.
Yeah. So we do see, we see an attack with everything here. Martin's defenses are down.
Yeah.
And I think the play for Martin here, I think the plan that he's made out for himself is to try to get Simon low enough that he could kill him in one swing if he finds the mana for Flying Crane technique. But with this sense of Outcast, I think he's going to make a flyer, and that's going to be a Chump Blocker, which will probably deny Martin somewhere around 8 damage if he does resolve that Flying Crane technique.
Have they seen the Flying Crane technique?
I don't believe so, but still relevant. It's still relevant to have a Flying Blocker in this case.
Yeah.
Even though I most likely will be coming in next turn.
He might just Chump Block Tasigur here because he's afraid of something.
I don't think Martin will attack.
I think he has a lethal on board now with the flying.
Martin's is so far behind on board, and he's also 2 land drops away from making that play. So even if he stacks his deck,
you mean the two land drops that he missed?
Yes,
because he milled himself.
Yeah, but that's hidden information. You can't unfortunately react that way.
Yeah, but it's just unfortunate.
Yes. So here we see a debilitating injury, I believe.
On what? On the Frostwalker, it seems like.
Yep.
It was Simon who played the Lotus, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I should think that Martin's deck is more equipped to handle it, but it's also running lower sources of white mana. And still, I mean, if you have enough ways to trigger prowess, which you probably have if you're building a deck around Monastery Mentor, then 3/2 prowess is, I mean, it's still power and toughness, which is it's all you need to win some limited games.
Monster Mentor is such a sweet card.
Yeah, it's a very good card.
Have you played with it?
I have. Yes, I have. In limited. It's good. It's fortunate that it comes in the first pack because you sort of have to build around it in order for it to reach its potential.
Yeah, either way, then it's just a 2/2 for 3, which is not very fun.
Exactly.
You could rather have more.
Yeah, it's not that much better than a Dragon Bell Monk in that case, which is a very mediocre filler card. Right, so a fairly conservative attack here, bringing Martin down to 7 and setting up for attacks next turn, I believe. So we have a Whisk Away. He's probably kind of interested in using that Whisk Away on the Eye of Bondkin, removing the most significant attacker from Simon's board. But that also means he has to leave up mana and then do no other play this turn.
Does he have double blue?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Because I think that is an Naga still. I don't know. The artist.
Oh, okay. So there's a Mistfire Weaver.
Yeah, it's probably Mistfire Weaver.
So that's definitely a Palace Siege. I can't quite tell whether
the front card
that
is still Naga.
The front foremost card is a Mistfire Adept. Mistfire Adept, yes.
They look closely.
The deck behind that though, is that a Quiet Contemplation?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Can we check his deck list? Is he main decking it? Both playing
It's
both.
Fatal Forge, right?
No, it's actually from
Oh,
cons.
it counts.
It's one of the least played uncommons in cons.
Quiet Complementation. Yeah, he has one.
All right, so in his main deck.
No, he cybered in.
Oh, okay, interesting. So quite a contemplation. I should think quite a bit better than the Goblin Slide, actually. And I think that both Goblin Slide and the Quiet Contemplation have gotten better with the inclusion of Fated Forge, like we've said multiple times. With all the non-creature creatures, so to speak, with soul summons and right on the beam.
Manifest enchantment cycle.
Precisely.
And right on the beam
Yeah.
and all that.
So Mistfire Adept still missing his land drop here on Martin's side, even though the Mistfire Adept joins the board. So he does have the ingredients for a combo finish if Simon slips up here and makes an unnecessary
Well, he doesn't
attack.
have lands.
No, precisely. But if
He's got 6, right?
yes, it costs 6. He doesn't have the colors either, right? No, actually, red, white, blue, and then 2 more. So
Yeah,
he just needs any colored lands.
but I don't think he will survive that long.
No,
I think
me neither. He's only taking 1 in the air.
Actually, he has still have the Sky Captain, I think. It's off camera.
Oh, right.
Because it's not in the
Yeah,
graveyard.
that's right. It never
Yeah,
died.
there you go.
So,
Oh,
alright,
it's
so here we
attacking
go.
with-
And Martin is
It's a 5 for it.
yeah. Otherwise, it would not be attacking 3
Yeah.
Tassigurs. So he's chumped with the Skullkeeper and draws for the
That's
turn.
4.
That's a tapped land.
Yeah.
That's
He might. He doesn't have the comp. Do you have a counter finish yet? 13. He's hits for. Yeah, he's lives for 7 in there currently.
yeah.
Yeah, so he can. If
There's also a prowess trigger, so he's actually got 16 power on the board.
Yeah.
So if he draws if he can survive this turn and draw an untapped land, I believe he still has the Whisk Away in hand.
Yeah, he still has Whisk Away.
Yeah. So interestingly, he wouldn't want to use it on a flyer, because then Simon would have a turn where he would play the.
He probably will do it on the 5/4.
Yeah. Was that a Lotus Path Djinn? Because any flying blocker right now is really interesting. So we might just be missing lethal on the board.
Yeah.
Simon certainly seems to think so. He's leaving 1 warrior home. Martin doesn't look too happy about that attack. Right, so in comes the team, except for that 1 warrior token.
He must block with the Mistfire.
Yeah. And then he Whisk Aways, and then he takes 3, goes down to 2.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the combo finish then.
Yeah, well, he still does. If he draws an untapped land, he can still.
But doesn't the Mr.
Mistfire Adept needs the prowess trigger, but he gains that from the flying crane
Yeah, but I
technique.
think it dies now because he blocked the 2/1 with his 4/2. It's a 3/1 in base, right? Yeah. No, wait. It's
No,
not.
the Mistfire Adept is a 3/3. So
Oh, yeah.
If it was a Lotus Path Djinn here, then Martin's board is all of a sudden kind of unimpressive.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we see
I would
we
love
see
to see the combo finish.
yeah.
And that is the...
There's a flying blocker in the Lotus Path Djinn, a very solid 2/3 prowess flying creature that Martin will definitely need some sort of answer for. So there's an
And he
untapped
draws
land.
the untapped land. Wow,
Yeah.
we could have seen the combo finish.
Yeah, we could have. So interestingly, he's dead on board, right?
I don't
well,
think he
I
is.
mean, he has 2 blockers and has to. Yeah, so he needs to gain life or gain another blocker on
He has
board.
contemplation, so he might be able to do something.
Yeah,
with
but
that.
then he needs a 2-mana spell because he's gonna tap 3 mana for contemplation, a 2 mana, and another one to
Pressure point will
activate.
do the work, I guess.
Yes, but pressure point would just be enough for him to survive another turn regardless.
Yeah.
So I can't really tell what's on his hand. All right,
Yeah,
so double.
He's just trying for it.
Yeah, he's just trying for it. There's a last desperation attack.
Well,
Interestingly, well, he can if
the
he-
flying crane technique. Yeah,
he can untap his guys in the
Yeah,
next
he got
turn
that
step.
1 here, I think. Yeah. I
Yeah,
really
so he
think
can precisely. So he can untap, kill both of those, and then he makes a 3/3 flyer because of the bowstring on
Yeah,
the opposing
yeah,
side.
yeah.
But his opponent will be at 10.
Yeah, he might snatch this.
Yeah. So here we go.
Flying crane technique.
Flying crane technique. Does it resolve?
Give flying to...
Simon. Simon thinking about it. Let me read that, he says. Doesn't look like he has... Alright, so we untap, flying, block both of the flyers. Oh no! They get double strike! He has the bolster, so it's lethal?
Oh!
So because of first strike damage, the creature, the Absent Sky Captain actually dies to first strike damage. He bolsters onto the 1/1 flyer and then gets in for lethal with the 1/1.
Oh, wow.
So, alright. That's a quick 2-0 for Simon here. Unfortunately, Martin, after being stuck on 4 lands for quite some time, welcome back. I'm Felix. This is Victor.
He had a Palace Siege in his hand, though, but
yeah.
maybe he couldn't survive anyway.
No, I don't think so.
No.
And I think
and there was 3 damage in the air, and it's your turn, right?
Palace Siege, much like many of the cards of the Grand variety are best when you're already stable on board.
Well, does it say at the beginning of your turn, right?
At the beginning of your turn, you drain.
Yeah,
but really, that's not.
Well, he was at 2, and
Yeah.
it was 3 damage in the air.
Yeah.
So if you play that, and if he was draining in the
yeah, but then he couldn't play the flying crane technique and do
no, wait,
the
the
block.
Jin is also never mind.
Yeah.
It was 5 damage.
Yes. So unfortunately, even though he did get the resolve,
First.
yeah, he dead to first strike damage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
That guy suck.
yeah.
I think we both missed that actually. That
Yeah.
they were bolster. Yeah. That
Yeah,
guy suck.
that's an interesting interaction. It doesn't come up that often in this format, but the Absent Sky Captain, there's definitely some tricks to be made with it. So we'll see if we can get an interview in with the winner, since seeing as how these games were rather short.
Yeah, the last 2 games have been rather short.
Yes.
I think the last game was like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And this was like 35 maybe.
Precisely. So we'll be right back in a few minutes, and I'll leave Victor to interview Simon.
We'll go to a short break, and then we'll get an interview up for you.